Per week 2 servings of fish are recommended by the American Heart Association. Buying fish isn't as simple as it looks. It is important to know that there is a possibility of contamination. The farmed and wild fish you eat can have chemicals, bisphenol A, and mercury. Make sure where and on what you are spending your money. Wild fish versus farmed fish. No matter whether the wild or the farmed fish, both have risks. Maybe you are aware of this issue, and you buy fish that was not in cramped conditions. However, you should know that there are other contaminants such as those that are man-made and also natural ones. Wild fish symptoms, and mercury waste drain and chemicals that contaminate our fish. Chlordane DDT dioxins mercury PCBs. Till the time we eat the fish, the above-mentioned chemicals build up in our food. Mercury can lead to problems with our memory, problems with our vision, complications in pregnancy, tremors and shakes, difficulty walking, language skills. Yes, the contamination is usually small. However, that increases due to our frequent consumption to fish like sharks and tuna. Farmed fish and its contamination. Despite other things, the farmed fish has the same amount of mercury like the wild fish. Because the tanks of the farmed fish are overcrowded, they put antibiotics in the tanks. Without antibiotics, diseases spread fast. But the problem is that these antibiotics accumulate in the fish. Also, chemicals are put inside of the tanks, in order to preserve livable water. The chemicals added: pesticides, herbicides, disinfectants, algicides, probiotics. The main reason why the chemicals are used it to ensure efficiency. However, with the consumption on our behalf, the odds of getting diseases increase. 3 most popular fish in America. Are they safe? There is a danger when it comes to the most popular fish in America. You even probably consume it on a daily basis. But do you know the risks? The most popular fish in America are tuna, salmon, and shrimp. Due to the lack of knowledge and without doubt mass consumption, we are causing harm to ourselves. 1. Tuna. Yes, believe it or not, but tuna is not as safe as we thought. Some people consume it at least once a week, some do it even more. But tuna is bigger and fish that lives longer. What does that have to do with everything else? Well, it is larger and lives longer, which means that eats more. The tuna has a lot of mercury. Eating can of tuna in large doses can lead to problems in the future. Another thing is that BPA, also known as bisphenol A, leaks into our food from the cans. An additional problem is the sodium content. There are brands of tuna that have around 350 milligrams of salt. 2. Salmon. Did you know that in 2014 around $1 billion of Chilean salmon actually crossed the border? As was reported by the international news agency Reuters, for this salmon there are high levels of antibiotics used. This was made in order to treat the farmed fish with diseases, which might lead to hemorrhaging and lesions. This is not a new problem. In South America and Southeast Asia for 30 years there had been diseases when it comes to farming fish, because of the reliance on the antibiotics. 3. Shrimp. The United States imported $5.2 billion of shrimp from India, Indonesia, and Vietnam. This happened in 2014. A large number of the shrimp above mentioned is from farms. These farms usually raise the fish in overcrowded environments. The badly managed ponds have excess food buildup, chemicals, and fecal matter. Also, the fed pellets contain antibiotics. The problem is in the health requirements. In these countries, the health requirements are lower than in America. There was a case where in Vietnam one grower, in order to chill his shrimp, he used ice, but that ice was covered in bacteria. Moreover, 1 out of 3 shrimp that comes from Malaysia has chloramphenicol and nitrofuran residue. The chloramphenicol and nitrofuran residue are actually elements of antibiotics, and we consume that. This actually may lead to a risk of developing an infection in humans. Ways to avoid contamination and dangerous farmed fish. If fish is something you consume regularly, do not worry. You can still do it, just as long as you buy the right one. Remember, fish have significant nutritional benefits. Remember these factors the next time you want to buy fish. Tuna. If the right kind, tuna is good for you. The tuna has 56% of the daily requirement of protein. Also, another important thing is that it has a lot of omega-3s. Remember this next time you decide to eat tuna. Choose the light tuna. The light tuna is better than the white one. The white tuna has more mercury. Choose the skipjack tuna. Albacore and yellowfin tuna have more mercury than skipjack tuna. Instead of cans, buy tuna in BPA-free pouches. Always avoid the cans that are salted. Per week consume no more than 6 ounces of tuna. That is how you shall avoid the buildup of mercury. The proper way to cook it: make a tuna sandwich or make a tuna salad. Look at this recipe and find out new ways to prepare tuna. Salmon. The salmon has a lot of nutritional benefits. There is reduction of the risk of heart disease. It also helps with the development of fetuses. Also, it has polyunsaturated fats and a lot of omega-3. It also has niacin, vitamin B12, thiamine, selenium, astaxanthin, and thiamine. Remember this next time you decide to eat salmon. Frozen salmon is good. Choose Alaskan salmon instead of Atlantic. Because the Atlantic salmon has more toxins and it is farmed. Organic doesn't mean anything, it is still farmed. Buy the salmon that is farmed from Norway, because they use fewer antibiotics. Or simply buy it wild. Avoid cans and cans with BPA. The proper way to cook it: you still can bake, grill or sauté the salmon. Just remember to use low sugar and low fat recipes. For example, you can find such recipes at WebMD. Shrimp is good for thyroid and cardiovascular disease. 3 ounces of shrimp provides 20 grams of protein. Remember this the next time you decide to eat shrimp. You can buy shrimps without antibiotics. Just look for a shrimp that is certified by the Marine Stewardship Council or the Wild American Shrimp. Buy the Wild North American Shrimp. They are often sustainably. Always make sure the shrimp to have a mild smell, not too sour or fishy. Always make sure the shrimp to be translucent and not cloudy. Always make sure the shrimp to feel firm. The proper way to cook it: use the recipes from Thrive Market and grill, boil or sauté the shrimp. Conclusion: in the end, the fact is that the fish, no matter whether salmon, tuna or shrimp, they are full of nutrients. That is something that we rarely get from pork, beef or chicken. The seafood as a source of protein provides benefits. Just make sure of the way of the production. Choose the best.